In the 18th century, within the most powerful courts of Europe, a disturbing rumor began to spread. The rumor of a man who seemed never to age. Nobles, diplomats, philosophers, people accustomed to luxury, to power, to deception. Many of them swore to the same thing, that they had encountered a man capable of speaking dozens of languages, of predicting future events, and of describing episodes from ancient history as if he had lived through them himself. A man with no certain past, no age, no verifiable origin. His name was the Count of Saint-Germain. He never sought power or fame. He built no empires. He simply appeared, silently. And within a short time, everyone began talking about him. At the court of Louis XV, his name spread rapidly. Some considered him a genius, others an extraordinarily intelligent charlatan. But no one could truly understand who the hell he really was. French records of the time described him as an elegant man, always impeccable, always composed. He wore refined clothing, never excessive, never vulgar. But there was something beginning with his appearance that immediately drew attention: the jewels. Those who examined them closely were left unsettled. Diamonds too pure, colors too perfect, cuts impossible for that era. To the point that some began to wonder whether those jewels had truly been crafted in his own time. And soon, even stranger stories began to spread. It was said that Saint-Germain could alter precious stones, improve them, remove their imperfections. Rumors spoke of alchemical abilities so advanced that he could turn lead into gold. Some even claimed that he could create larger gems from smaller fragments. Illusion? Manipulation? Or something no one could explain? But the jewels were only the beginning. Because what truly struck people was the way he spoke. Saint-Germain seemed to know everything: art, science, history, politics, music. He spoke French, Italian, English, Spanish, Portuguese, and, according to some accounts, even Eastern languages. Voltaire himself, one of the most rational men of his age, said of him, "He is a man who never dies and who knows everything." Heavy words, especially coming from a man who did not easily believe in the supernatural. And yet, the real problem was not what Saint-Germain knew, but how he seemed to know it. During private conversations, he described historical events with unsettling detail. He did not speak like a scholar. He spoke like a witness. One evening, during an aristocratic gathering, he began describing an ancient Egyptian ceremony. He described the smell of incense, the golden decorations, the words spoken by the priests. The level of precision was so extraordinary that several guests fell silent, because it did not sound like the account of someone who had merely read about it in books. It sounded instead like a vivid memory. But it was only years later that the mystery completely changed shape. Because something happened, something that transformed Saint-Germain from a merely enigmatic figure into a living esoteric legend. A French noblewoman claimed she had met the Count when she was still very young. Many years later, she said she encountered him again, and something immediately horrified her. Saint-Germain looked exactly the same. The same face, the same voice, the same gaze. While time had changed everyone around her, it seemed to have left no mark on him at all. From that moment on, the theories multiplied. Some described him as a clever and gifted alchemist, not in the symbolic sense of the word, a real alchemist. It was said that he could transform metals, create gold, manipulate matter itself. But above all, people began whispering about an even more disturbing possibility: that he had discovered the secret of eternal life. And as time passed, more and more strange details seemed to support that theory. During lavish aristocratic dinners, Saint-Germain almost never ate. He would take only a small sip, speak, captivate the room, but the food remained untouched. Whenever someone asked him for an explanation, he always avoided giving a clear answer. And then there were the prophecies. According to several diplomatic accounts, Saint-Germain often spoke about the future, not vaguely, not in riddles, but with astonishing precision. It is said that he attempted to warn the French court, to speak with ministers, with nobles, with men close to the king. He said that something was coming, something that would consume France. Years later, the French Revolution arrived, and many began remembering those conversations. Too late. Then, in 1784, the official announcement came. The Count of Saint-Germain was dead. At last, a rational explanation. Or at least, that was how it seemed. And yet, it did not end there. Because in the years that followed, new testimonies began to appear. People who swore they had met him, spoken with him. Always the same man, always unchanged, always ageless. During the French Revolution, some claimed to have seen him calmly walking through the streets of Paris. Calm, elegant, as if he already knew the fate awaiting everyone. But the sightings continued throughout the 19th century. Vienna, Paris, Germany. A man identical to the Count's description would suddenly appear, speak with aristocrats and scholars, and then vanish without a trace. As though he belonged more to legend than to history itself. And slowly, Saint-Germain ceased to be merely a historical figure. He became legend. To some, he was immortal. To others, a traveler through time. And to others still, something even harder to comprehend. An observer. A man condemned to wander across centuries without ever truly belonging to any of them. Even today, certain esoteric groups speak of him as an ascended master, a hidden presence, a silent guide, someone who may still be watching the world from the shadows. But beyond the theories, the legends, and the fantasies, one question remains. What if all of this is not merely a myth? Perhaps Saint-Germain was simply a brilliant man, a master manipulator, an aristocrat who carefully built his own legend. Or perhaps not. And what if, somewhere, even now, there still exists someone who has watched empires rise and fall, who knows forgotten secrets, who walks through time itself, untouched by death? Why would someone like that choose to remain hidden? What secrets might he still possess after crossing entire centuries of human history? I am Armil, and here we tell the stories that time tried to bury. If you want to continue exploring mysteries like this, support the channel by subscribing and staying with us. Because perhaps the Count of Saint-Germain never truly disappeared. And the most disturbing part is not what we know, but the idea that someone could walk through centuries watching us without ever changing his face.